Just you need some gas on.
Go, ladies.
Yes.
And gents.
Yes,
The
we're
lovely
here.
ladies on here.
All right,
so
welcome guys to another episode of Winning in Life. We got some special guests over here. I'm Nashawn.
I'm King Caleb.
I'm Annie.
I'm Gigi.
All right, and this is Winning in Life. Let's get right into it.
Ladies,
Yes.
first of all, how did you guys meet?
How do we meet?
In high school.
And for the people,
yeah.
no, actually, let's start. For the people that don't know who you are, please tell them who you are, and then tell them how you guys met and how you guys became friends or sisters, as you guys so call it.
Yes.
Not
You
so
go
call
for
it.
I know, right?
Okay.
The shade.
Well, my name is Gaisha Guillaume. I'm Haitian. I go by Gigi for short because a lot of people think saying Gaisha Guillaume is crazy. I moved to Westy Chapel probably like, I don't know how many years ago, but it was high school. And that's where I met Annie through my cousin because you guys were friends. But when we met, it was an instant click. It was a family bond. So we would always hang out, and I would go over to her house. I met her family, and that just bridged our family gap to becoming one. And here we are.
Yeah. I mean, that was a good summary of everything. I'm Annie. I grew up in Germany, moved to Florida about like 7 years ago now.
Miss Worldwide.
Kind of. No, not really. I mean, you know, it's been an adjustment, but I feel like now I'm starting to kind of find my stride. Like, I'm about to finish college. I live in Orlando, so I'll be here for the weekends, you know, seeing y'all and everything. But other than that, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about myself. I don't really do much other than work and school.
I think you have a lot, but we'll get into that.
What Caleb said, humble.
Humble vibes.
Humble vibes,
Keep
exactly.
it humble.
Yeah, but yeah, we met at a pep rally actually. I still remember like the very first time I met her. It was like this crazy energy that she had, and like I think that's what kind of like attracted me. Because I was like, oh my gosh, she seems so fun. Like, you know, I already knew her cousin Claire, who I was really close with. I had like classes with her, and then one day we were like walking to the pep rally, and she was like, oh, this is my cousin, Gaisha. I was like, oh hey, and then from then on out, like we just hung out after school and became really close.
Yes.
Yeah. Here we are now, married.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
And kids.
JK.
Love wins, I guess.
That's right.
Hilarious.
Oh, that's a cute story.
Yeah, like the reason why I asked because like friendships is kind of like hard to find nowadays. Like some real that family bond. Like this man is my brother right here.
Facts.
And I've known him for like 4 years, but it's like forever. Like we
Right.
grew up the same.
Right.
You know, like it's that crazy.
So similar.
But you know, it's always cool to see that with like girls too, because you know sometimes girls it's just hard to like be together and stuff
Right.
like that.
I think it's harder as a girl to like make friends, like actual
And keep
real
friends.
and keep them too. Like because I feel like a lot of girls, like especially in this age that we're in, like your early 20s, you know, a lot of girls either are like caught up in relationships or, you know, finding new groups once you go off to college and all this stuff. So it's just hard like to maintain like that connection. But that's what I appreciate about our friendship is because there's like really no pressure like for us to like constantly talk to
Right.
each other. Like we can go a couple weeks without, you know, talking or whatever, and we'll just check in like, hey, are you good? Like, do you need anything? But we know there's no pressure because, you know, life just happens and you get busy and stuff like that. But
Right.
that's really what I appreciate most is just a friendship where you could not talk and still be on the same level of closeness.
And I think what's important with like friendships or long time friendships is like communication. I think just with everybody, you can't just keep that friendship because you don't really have like, you know, the skills or even just interpersonal communication with each other. Like we have had uncomfortable conversations
A lot.
to stay friends,
Right.
but it's like you don't really have that with just anybody, or you can't just have that with your coworker and be like, okay, we're gonna be friends. So it does take work, but at the end of the day, having a friend who is like, who's been through it with you, who's real, it beats just meeting a random and trying to like keep them in your circle. So.
Sure.
That's all.
Wow, that's amazing. I like how you guys said communication because it's just not just friendship and relationships that's like really lacking. The communication, you know, friendship, your relationship can just fall down the drain. And like communication is this key to like building a good friendship and a relationship.
Right.
Whether it's with anybody.
I feel like people don't realize that friendships are work, just how romantic relationships are work. Like
sometimes
people,
friendship breakups hurt more.
Yes,
than
yes,
that
they hurt a
Yo,
lot more. They hurt a lot more.
Like
yes.
sometimes, you know, I had a girl and I liked her. I was like, okay, we broke up, but like my boy,
Yeah,
like you
that's
did me
a tough
dirty.
one.
Yeah.
That
That's
hurt.
a tough
Bruh,
one.
I had this like friend group in like at like church or whatever. It was like, cause I never really made friends in church. I was like, wow, I made friends at church. Like,
Right.
cool. We had this thing, and then like I was like, yo, I'm kind of too old for you guys now. Like I gotta go, and like just seeing them at church all the time now, and just, you know, they're just not saying nothing to me. You know, I try to say hi. You know, they're like, hey, you know, whatever. I'd be like, yo, that. Like it's something else, like for real. I mean now we cool. I'm like, hey, yo, what's up, man? You know.
Right.
But like back then, I was like, yo, that's tough, man.
Was that more so because you like stopped hanging out with them, or you stopped going to that particular church, or like what happened?
I just like I was like, yeah, I can't hang out with y'all anymore.
Yeah.
Like, we can't be as close. So to them, it was like I like stabbed them in the back. So they didn't want nothing to do with me. So I was like, yo.
So it was like a conscious effort of like, I'm gonna distance myself from this, like to.
Yeah,
do
like
my
I
own
told
thing.
them.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay.
yo, cause
That's real though. A lot of people wouldn't do that. Like a lot of people just
Just
fall off
ghost
the face of
or-
the earth. Yeah, like that's real. I think that's very mature to at least, you know, communicate that.
But also like part of growing, you can't have the same people with you to the top.
Yes.
That's part of growing. Like
Yes.
not everyone can make it to the top. You can't take everybody on the boat with you.
Yeah.
It's only a few and a select people.
Yeah.
And with friendships, especially as we get older, we know like who to have around us. Or we should know who to have around us.
Right.
Because not everyone is looking for the best for you too. Especially if you want to be successful in this day and age, you know, because there's a lot of backstabbers. Like people you even call your family sometimes. They're the worst.
Right.
Call your family as in what? What do you
And
mean?
then, like sometimes like people that are even your family, like are
Yeah, yeah,
worse. And, like
True.
backstab. So it seems go your friendship. That's why you can't take everyone to the top with you.
Yeah,
Sometimes you
that's
just gotta
very
tell them, hey, I'm sorry. You know, I love you from a distance, but
that's your favorite word.
I love it from distance, I swear.
I do, but you know, I gotta go by myself to the top, or with other people on the same mindset.
Yeah.
I think what I find in friendships, like as you get older, I mean, it is that loving people from a distance, but it's also like who can you grow with? And I think at certain times, some people you just literally cannot grow with them. You could love them, they could be the funniest person in the world, they could be your favorite person, but if their mind is not producing the things that you need to be growing as a friend, it's kind of like I just can't. Like we have nothing in common now.
Right.
If you're talking about BS, well, I'm trying to figure out how to build my business. Like you have nothing to produce, you have nothing to, you know, no advice, you have nothing. So it's like, how can I just depend on you as a person to just kind of like come to the top with me if you're not even focused on that? So sometimes like that issue comes up too where, yeah.
Right.
But I have a question though. Do y'all feel like, okay, yeah, it's important to, you know, network and reach out and to have those people that are like ahead of you in a sense to pull you up, but do you think it's also important to have those people to keep you grounded? Because that's something I truly believe in too. Like, I think everybody needs to have rich friends and poor friends, educated friends and, you know, like regular friends. Like, I feel like it's like all a balance act. Because if you only are looking for people like,
Sorry.
You good, you good.
meet
Keep going.
everybody that, you know, was in my past, like whatever, like I'm in, you know, college now, like whatever, you know, you never know when somebody might, you know, you might meet somebody in the future or whatever. Like, or do you feel like it's just whatever, like just stay on your path, like forget everything that was like behind you?
I was gonna say just before you guys go in, not even about like rich or poor or whatever, but only quality people. I could have a poor friend who is just a quality person to me. Whether I'm making six figures and I'm buying houses and they're still flipping like, you know, ramen noodles and things like that. But you feel me? Like if there's some quality to their character, I could use that. You know, whether it's if we're on the same level or not. So only quality people. Like if you have no quality to you that could be of just, you know, I don't know, like of importance to me or whatever, then
I like that. I'll go first. To me, characters and integrity is the most important thing in a friendship. So that's the key thing to me. That's one of the reasons why me and him click so much. We had so many similar values. our character, and our integrity. So to me, that's like the main core: character, integrity, and your value. So we always talk about this. Your network is your net worth. So if you hang out with 10 losers, you're gonna be the 11th loser. If you hang out with 5 winners, you're gonna be the 6th winner. So when you were saying that, am I just gonna drop everybody? Like if they don't want to grow with me, I'm sorry, buddy. Like we had our good times. Like we can still, maybe grab a dinner like once a year or something.
Okay, so you're basically saying like I can't keep moving forward with you.
Look,
like if you're not on the same path that I'm on.
I'm on path to success.
Right.
Nobody's stopping me.
But this is the thing, though. Everybody's definition of success is very different, right? Some people's definition of success is settling down early, family,
Right.
Lock
Right.
it down. Some people's definition of success is like you go corporate, make the big bucks, that kind of thing.
That's true. But you also know people that are not taking their life seriously at all. Like, if you just sit down and smoke weed all day in your mom's couch, you're not doing anything in your life, you call that successful? I mean, maybe to you, but like, the path I'm on, he knows the path I'm on. We know the path that we're on, and not everyone can be on that path. But doesn't mean I don't have love for you. We can see each other once in a while, but the things that we talk about, they're not similar values. That's the same goes with relationship. I can't just be dating anybody that I don't have similar values with. If that makes sense. That's why I always say your network is your network. And like me and him, we do a lot of networking because we're trying to find also like-minded individuals. But it's also good to have people of all different backgrounds.
Right.
I'm just not gonna be friends with all engineers, all business people. I have friends that do everything. Rap, movies, business. It's good to have like different I call it different groups of people to be in your network. So like you were saying, everybody's success definition of success is different, but there's also like a black and white. Like if you don't want to do anything with your life at all, like you just don't care, you don't want to improve yourself, personal development, then you can't be around me because I'm all about personal development. But yeah, that's how I had to say.
Okay.
Yeah. That was really good. That was really good. Thanks, man. I think what you're saying. Like, I feel like if those like poor friends like keep you grounded, I think that's fine, right? As long as they have some sort of personal development in there, because it's like you said, if you're around 5 losers, you're gonna be the 6th loser. It's just like human nature. Like we are who we hang around with. Like we can't stop it. So it really is important to hang around people that want the best for you, care for you, and have similar values as you, or you're gonna subconsciously just let all your dreams go. And we don't want that to happen. So like you said, like, hey, if you just want to start a family, yeah, man, how's it going, what's going on, things like that. But personal growth is like our number one priority, and we can't let anybody get in the way of that. So
because like you can still be on personal growth and have you settle down early, but as long as you're working on yourself, that's what matters. Cause like to us, like as long as you're working on yourself, then everything will fall in place. The same goes with relationships. You work on yourself, the right person, you attract the right person.
And like there's this book that I read, it's like no 2 roses blossom at the same time. It's like you could be really on the personal growth and somebody's like, I'm not really about that. And then years later, they're like, hey man, I'm on the same thing. That happened with Raphael, where, he was like, hey man, let's get together and stuff like that. And we ended up like bonding even more because he ended up kind of like being on the same thing that I was.
Well, that's kind of where that question arrived from, because it's like you wouldn't have maybe seen that in him, that potential in him a couple years ago. But sometimes by being that person that person could, be inspired by, they might eventually catch up on that. But if you give up on them so early on, it's like, the friendship is not going to be intact.
That's true.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like it's super duper important to network. And I feel like that's something that I'm personally also working on a lot now. Like that, I'm nearing the end of college and everything. I feel like it's super important because to me, like I've always said, like, a piece of paper or a degree doesn't get you anywhere. People do.
It's about who you know.
It's all about who you know. It's not about what you know, where you've been. Like, it's really all about who can get you that foot in the door. So, like, I feel like if you're nice to everybody from the janitor to the CEO, at some point it's going to come back to you.
That's why I try not to cut bridges unless I really have to.
Right.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You never know if you're going to need them in the future.
Exactly. Right.
But at the same time, like, you can lead the horse to the water, but you can't force the horse to drink water. So like I want everybody to win.
Right.
You know, regardless if I don't know you, we know each other. I just show love to everybody. I'm trying to be a good role model to my future kids, to my generations down, build generational wealth. But like, you know, if I'm like, hey man, you know, I'm encouraging you, but you're like, nah man, I don't, just leave me alone.
Right.
You know, I can't just be hanging out with you 24/7, but I'll still be there as a
Right.
person to come, hey, you know, Caleb, you know,
Right.
give me some advice. I'm
Of
not just
course.
gonna be like, all right, screw you, don't ever
Yeah.
talk to me.
Right.
Because you know, I know we all fall. We're not perfect. You know,
Yes,
we're
yes.
all
Right.
learning. We all lose. You know, we all go through failures. You know.
Yeah, that's
So-
super important because, like you said, we all fall. Like, and a lot of times, like, the successful people are not going to be there to catch you because they're still on that path of success. Of,
Right.
I
Right.
can't catch somebody else while I'm trying to get to the top.
Mm.
But the people that are grounded and that are humble, they're going to be the ones that are still going to
Right.
treat you the same that they treated you when you were just a regular dude, you know, on the
Mhm.
street.
Right.
So, like, that's kind of why I find it so important to still have those grounded friends
Definitely.
and have a good balance of both. Like, you know,
Yeah.
have friends that that inspire you and that you aspire to be
Right.
like, and also have friends that really know you, know your character, and that you say like quality people
Right.
in your corner.
Right.
Whether their definition of success matches with what you're doing in life right,
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where we were talking earlier, like how we live in a society where it's all about me,
Yeah.
being selfish. Like I'm a self-made this, I'm a self-made woman. Like, no, you also had people. A lot of time when people get to the top, they forgot who helped them, and they also become lonely. Just because you have money
Yeah.
and success doesn't mean you're gonna be happy.
Yeah.
You know how many people die wishing they had family and friends? They just kick everybody to the curb. Hey, I got money now. I got success. So like with that being said, like you should still remember the people around you. That's why you should still show love. Like relationship is just about who can outserve another. Cause like we all want me, but like when it comes to relationship, friendship, or just like you know normal relationships, it's all about saying what value can I provide for you, not what can you do for me. Because a lot of
Right.
times it's always just me. What can you do for me?
You know, in certain cultures, and I kind of need you guys' help with this because are we Eastern or Western?
It's a Western.
We're Western. Okay, good. Because I'm horrible with that. So in Eastern cultures, a lot of their success depends on their family, their
Right.
group. You know, so it's just like if my family is successful, if my family holds a great name, then I am successful. We are successful. And Western cultures like us, it's really not about the family because, like you were saying, it's all about me.
Right.
What can I do to be on top? What can I do to stand out? But in Eastern cultures, it's what can I do to contribute to the family's name
Right.
so we can hold success. So, I mean, it's different, you know, worldwide, but I definitely do see what you're saying.
Right, like when, like example, like the Eastern cultures, like when they come here, they hire their own people, like Middle
Yep.
Eastern, like gas stations or like
You know, Chinese places.
China-
man,
yeah.
You don't see no black guy in the back working, making
They hire-
Chinese. Nah.
they hire their family and they build that generational wealth, which I was
Yep.
talking about.
But on that,
But
yeah.
like you know, we live in this Western culture. It's all about
Man, I'll make some Chinese if they let me.
you know, it's all about
Probably
me.
wouldn't be as good, but
Man,
you
that's,
could try.
that's messed up, man. That's messed up. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, but that's super important though, and I feel like that's something that especially Black people are like. I mean, I feel like our generation is starting to get it a little bit more. Like we need each other.
Right.
For each of us to make it, we need each other, and we need to seek the help of each other. Like we can't keep waiting for the white man to like come and swoop in and save us and pull us up and you know whatever.
Right.
Like it's super important for me to, you know, have successful Black people in my network because only they're gonna understand, you know, certain things that you go through and have to maneuver through in a society, you know, like this one, where you're already kind of set up for failure in a sense as a Black person, especially in like the corporate world. Like stepping into that like the last year for me has been like such an eye-opener. Like it's been extremely like revealing to me, like especially like, you know, as a Black woman, like just the amount of attention you have to pay to everything that you say, the way you act, the way you dress, the way you speak to people. You know, you almost have to like code switch every day. You know, you have to adjust to who you're around. You have to make sure that you always come across very professional, very classy, very this, very that. Which, you know, I'm not saying that that's an issue for me, but you definitely are very always conscious of it and you're thinking about it just all day. So, yeah.
Yeah, you really got to adapt.
We always talk about like no one's gonna come save you because like you know we live in a society where it's like, oh my gosh, please someone come save me. I need like at the end of the day, you gotta want it bad yourself too, cause like the government isn't gonna come save you. Like you gotta want it yourself. You know what I mean? Cause like we live in like a lot of people have this victim mentality. Like there's always someone to blame. Like okay, there's certain disadvantages that you may have, but you can always overcome that if you put your mind.
You're talking about as far as like a black person, like
I'm talking about people in general, like in the society in general. Like, they're always looking for something to blame, if that makes sense, instead of like personal development. You know what I mean? Because you can overcome anything you put your mind towards too, as long as you work hard and do what you got to do.
Yeah, for sure. And use it as your strength. Like I'm not trying to sit here and say like me being black is like a disadvantage to like for me personally. Like I see it as a strength. I see it as like a superpower in a sense. Especially like the field that I'm trying to get into, which is advertising, PR. So like I see my classes. I see I go to a PWI, so that to the side. I see what I'm saying, what the groups of people are that usually are in the classroom, and black people are usually the minority, right? But I see that as an opportunity because it's like I can stand out because I already do. So like if I do my best, like this could be something really great. Like I could use this to my advantage. Yeah.
That's really good. So I'm like absorbing everything that you said.
Yeah, no,
wow.
Totally.
But yeah, let's go into the dating side of things.
First of all, can we like all say like our status?
Our status.
Like relationship status, like what's going on?
Yeah.
Sorry,
ladies first.
Yeah, go for it.
I would say taken.
I would say.
You would say.
No, but definitely taken.
Yeah. I am single and not looking, I guess, in a sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm single, doing my own thing. I still date around,
Yeah, I'm a question mark.
So you talking to somebody, but you don't know what it is?
I'm single.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm dead.
But what would you girls consider a red flag, like right off the jump? You're like, maybe you're talking to somebody and they're like, oh, I do this or I like that, and you're like, nope. It's like,
honestly, I think the first thing, and this might be the craziest thing, but the first red flag is if a dude is really interested in me and another woman getting together, to please him. That's just a red flag. That's a red flag. Yeah, I'm just saying. You ask for red flags and that is it. Like, don't. Ask.
That's something you've been asked, like, off the rip?
Yeah, more than once.
I've been asked that. Like, or would I be cool if me and such would do this and do that? And just like, no. Like, that's a red flag. So.
I mean, honestly, like, to say that there's like one specific one that throws me off, I don't think there is one, but just like if I could gather about your character that you're very like controlling or you feel like very like dominant over somebody that you just met, like that really turns me off. Cause like to me it's like one of those things where like a lot of men will just expect you to respect them, but I don't do that just out the gate. Like I have to see that you're a respectable man first. And then, that'll grow. But to just be like on some like, oh, I'm the man, like big gorilla, King Kong, like, it's just like kind of like, who are you trying to convince? Are you convincing yourself or are you trying to convince me? Because to me, anytime I've met a real confident, assertive man, it's come across right away. Like I could feel it. Right. Don't say it, show it, in that kind of sense. Yeah.
So like to add on to that, do you guys believe in traditional like roles, because you were saying like you don't want a guy telling you, hey.
Let's do that after. I want to make sure we get our red flags first too.
Okay.
Oh yeah. What's y'all's red flags and females? That's interesting too to hear.
Go ahead. Just go ahead, bro.
All right. Let's see, red flag. Like honestly, you just gotta be like kind. Like that's it. And if you're like mean or you're just kind of just selfish, to me that's like a big turn on.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like, if you go out to dinner and you could tell they're rude to the waiter, that's gonna tell me, like, oh, you're an ass.
Right.
Yeah.
I would say another one is if you don't have friends, because it's like
That's a good one.
Like I get it's hard for girls to have friends, but if you don't have any friends, then it's like why don't people want to be around you?
Yes,
right.
yes.
At least one person wants to be around you, okay, but like none.
Yes.
It's like because I've dated girls with like no friends, and now I'm like.
You could tell why, right? Yeah, and it's funny, just like, sorry, Caleb, I know it's your turn, but like, kind of to add on to that, because that's one of those red flags that really ignored my last relationship, was like, he was very like, no friends, like, wasn't hanging out with anybody, and like, I took it as like, okay, this dude is just an introvert, but as I went along, I'm starting to notice like, oh, you don't keep up with your people, you're not very loyal, you're not very like nice and kind and helpful, like, you know what I'm saying? So that's why you don't keep any friendships, like, because as dudes, like, I feel like y'all don't have that much pressure to like be perfect with each other when it comes to friendships. Like, I don't know if that's like an assumption, but like, I feel like y'all are more cool, like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas girls, they get very offended if you do certain stuff. Like, you can't be real with a lot of girls, like, when it comes to friendships. Like, me and her, for example, another thing that I appreciate about our friendship is that we could really be very real as far as our conversations. Like, we could be like, yo, you're on some bullshit. Or, no, your nigga that you talking to, he's not it. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we could tell each other that without being offended. Like, girl, you're not talking about my man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, that's definitely a really big red flag. If you don't have no friends, it's like, yeah, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Right. Or another one, which I was thinking of. I mean, not that I've personally... Actually, no. I could say in the past, at one point, I have probably experienced this. But I know so many women, watch out for this, ladies. If a dude you just start talking to, tell you to, buy me this, buy me that.
Oh, my God.
Or some Santana, you know what I'm saying? That's a red flag. Like, if we just start talking, and you start telling me... Or you start telling a woman to buy you this, buy you that, like, because men do that. It's just kind of like, so we're meeting up at this hotel. Can you pay for it? Or it's just kind of like, are you trying to?
They ever tell you, oh, you the one with the money? Oh, you the rich one?
You know, things like that. It's like, I mean, I'm not saying this has personally happened to me, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that I know of this in my community. That men are getting over. I don't know what it is. What's the new sauce in the water that y'all don't got? You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you. So I think that's a red flag. It's like before you know me too well,
those ain't real men.
Don't start asking about things. Don't start asking for too much because we're not established yet. Right. So don't tell me to pay for this and pay for that and do this and do that for you. And we just started talking and you hungry and this, that, and third. Or you need a haircut and you come to see me and this, that, and the third. Don't do that.
That's wild.
Red flag.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're asking me for this, you could be asking Tashina, Takaya, and Tamika the same thing.
All T's. Funny.
So I'm just saying.
That's right. Especially if you as a woman haven't asked shit from him. Like, I feel like that's so weird.
Yeah.
Like, if a guy feels comfortable to ask something from you, especially monetary, and I haven't asked you for nothing, like, dead. Because I could do for myself. I need a man that could do for himself, too. Like, I don't need that. Extra baggage. But, Kayla, what's your red flag?
Oh, yeah. You're very obnoxious and loud. Like, I like peace. You know, like, if you go to a restaurant, like, you know, the waiter messes up, you don't gotta go all loud and, like, you could still tell them what's up without having to, like, cause a chaos, if that makes sense. So, like, I like my peace and calm.
And we're back. I'm just kidding.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, and just kind, you know, just like, like we all said, we know someone, when they're kind to the waiter, that's already, like, that's a green flag. But, like, you know, just being non-kind, like,
do that too.
Just, like, when you, like, this is in public, the way you treat people.
Right.
Because, like, I gotta know that you treat my family right. When you meet my family, I don't want you yelling at my mom. You know what I mean? You know? I don't want you, like, no.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Yelling at my mom, like, I mean, for real, I don't want her yelling at my mom. But yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, our parents, but
so crazy.
How important is it to y'all for whatever woman or man y'all choose to be presentable to y'all family? Or are you guys more so like, they just have to fit with me?
I think that when I was, I mean, it kind of depends on like where you're at in life and like how old you are. Cause when you're older, let's say you're dating at like 27, you don't wanna. Hey, mom, I just met, this person that.
Well, some people still feel like that at 27.
I mean, that's true. That's
Yeah.
true.
How do you feel personally?
I'd probably just wait a little bit, just to make sure. I guess if it doesn't happen often, maybe the first person you get, you'd be like, hey, parents, this is what happened, whatnot. But if it happens like quite a bit, you don't want to always like, hey, this is this. They'll be like, all right, just stop. Make sure.
Stop bringing them over.
Yeah, make sure it's the right one.
I can't.
For sure.
But yeah, if we've been talking for like a couple months.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is.
Do you prep your girls before you make them meet your parents?
What? What do you mean prep?
Prep them.
I prep my boyfriends.
If I need to prep her, she ain't the one.
Like prep as far as like, I just tell, especially if they come from a different culture than me, just certain little things that I know will bug my parents. I will totally like point that out. Like, hey, make sure you whoop-de-whoop.
Right, say hello this way or that way.
Yeah, exactly. Make sure you take
way.
off your shoes at the entrance. So like, for example, like Americans, like a lot of them walk through the whole house with their shoes on, right? Me, my mom's African, so in African culture it's very disrespectful to, keep your shoes on. It's not necessarily that he's a disrespectful ass dude because he doesn't take his shoes off, just because that's how he grew up. You know what I'm saying? So like, yes, things like that. I'm gonna definitely let him know. Like, hey, make sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, those are like little things. I thought you meant like change on. All right, you
no.
stop. You gotta wear this and do all this.
No, not change the person.
I just let them know the questions my parents are gonna ask them ahead of time.
That too.
Not like anything crazy, but I just let them know, hey, my dad's gonna ask you this and that.
I remember.
If you want to take some notes,
Yeah, it's just certain
That's
things.
funny.
Yeah, for sure. How about you? Did you care like when you first met your man? Like, were you like, oh, can I bring him home?
I think for me, like specifically to that situation, but I kind of want to broaden it out to any situation that I'm in with anybody. Is like if you're going to meet my parents, like first of all, I'm Haitian. That's just the number one thing. And I think that's it for me. Like as long as I'm Haitian, I have a Haitian mother, and Haitian women are this, that, and the third, and this is what they expect, and this, that, and the third, then you come in and she's going to ask you a million questions on if I'm safe and if, can I unravel my life with you? Because, my mom really cares about, like Haitian values on, is this person you're with, can they provide for you? Can they love you? Can they do this and that and the third? So it's just, it's going to be real questions. So, yeah. But do I ever try to, like, prepare anybody? I mean, it's just kind of like, you're going to have your encounter with my mother, and it's going to just be natural, whether she likes you or not, because she could like you, and she could not. It's not really up to me to, like, prep them up, because if it's been situations where you think, okay, wear this, do that, smell this way, and then my mom probably will see somebody and be like, I don't like that. So it's just depending on the relationship, like, if your character is genuine enough to be believable enough for a parent to think that you are worthy, type of thing.
I do agree with him when he said, like, if I really have to change a person to bring them to my parent, like, really change their whole personality, they ain't the one for me. Because, like I said, I'm about integrity, character, value. So, like, those are the main things. That's what I respect, and that's what also my family respects. So, as long as you have those, you're good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
But if you just come and just cussing out my mom.
Oh my God. That's
Keep going again. Cuss at your mom. How many girls have cussed your mom out?
No girls ever disclosed her. No girls ever done
we needed that.
But for future girls.
But you know what, though? I have had...
Because I know girls... I mean, I've known people that actually...
That do that.
They have terrible relationship with their...
Very much
like,
that. Very
but
much
look,
that, yeah.
I have had a situation where my mom has loved, like, absolutely, that was her favorite person. Like, loved somebody that I was dating at the time. And he was doing me wrong secretly. So it's kind of like, oh, you made the impressions. Like, you got the stars. My mom thinks you're the... Yeah, you faked it till you made it. And you made it. But at the end of the day, it was like you was cheating, you was lying, you was doing this, you was doing that. And my mom thought so highly of you that I couldn't even tell her the truth. Because I was too embarrassed.
No, that's crazy.
Because she just really thought I had something good in the bag. But I didn't know. So there are situations like that too, where the first impression could make it. It could go on, but at the end of the day, they lying, they cheating, they scheming, scamming, anything.
Scamming.
Scheming and scamming.
Scheming.
Yeah, that's definitely a Florida
Scheming
thing.
and scamming.
Welcome to Tampa, y'all.
Scheming and scamming.
For real.
Oh
Oh,
man.
yeah, she also raps. Those are bars.
Oh my God.
Bars.
Yeah, I know she a rapper.
Bars.
She baby on the beat.
Yeah.
Send me your mixtape after.
I'm dead.
Yo, what has been like the? You guys know what a simp is, right?
Mhm.
What's been the most craziest thing a guy has done for you to try to get at you? Like buy you some crazy thing, or what? Yeah, what's the craziest thing a guy has done to you?
Like, what's the simplest thing a dude has ever done? Is that what you're
Yeah, to
asking?
try to get you
To
before
try to just
before
get
before they
you?
even got you, or if they
Before
had
they
you,
got
they
me.
just really wanted you so bad or something.
I'm trying to think.
I know.
Like they done spent this. They done.
And
you
you guys
travel
and you guys gave
miles,
them nothing,
100 miles just to see you.
and you guys
you
didn't
know.
even do nothing to them. No, not even a kiss or something.
Bought tickets, airplane tickets.
I don't think I would hang out with a dude unless I, you know what I'm saying, felt like I could see myself. Y'all cracking up. Let me let him finish laughing.
Okay,
No,
go
you're
ahead.
fine.
Go ahead,
No, go for it. I'm
go
actually
ahead.
trying to think, like...
I don't know. I think that question is kind of tricky because simping comes with a bad connotation. I think
Yeah.
at the time of receiving whatever was being given to me was probably wonderful. So I think like I've had a dude like drive hours to see me.
Yeah.
Or
But
I've had people do
They
crazy.
said somebody you didn't do nothing with.
You
Like,
didn't do
basically,
no-
you just used them.
Well,
is what they asking.
see, that's kind of like, it's just too narrowed down. Like,
Yeah.
how many situations did
That
you
Okay,
I
so-
think that's not as common as social media would like people to believe
Yeah.
it is. Like I feel like most girls, unless they have a genuine interest or attraction to you, why would they make you come to their house?
Type
Why
of
would they
thing.
make you do all this extra shit? Because then all you're left with is a crazy nigga that's crazy over you that's gonna keep sliding up your shit,
but look,
keep texting you. You're just like, what the
I've
fuck? I
had a
have to
dude-
block you. Like
I've had a
Oh,
dude
man.
from like a while ago. I feel like I'm trying to answer y'all questions, so it might not fit the best, but like he literally at the time we were younger, so like we both didn't have our own cars. Or did I have my own car? I'm not sure if I did, but I know he didn't. So he had his mother drive him hours down to see me, and he had gotten a hotel. And I'm like, okay, like you did all of this for me, so we get the hotel room, you know, whatever. The night of, I mean, I didn't give anything, you know? I was just kind of like, okay, like, I'm tired, you know, let's go to sleep, you know? So I think that was, like, nice of him to come all this way without pressing me to do anything, you know what I mean? Because, like, it was sweet that you wanted to come see me, but not necessarily I'm finna just, you know, rip my clothes off and, you know what I mean?
Oh my goodness, man.
So, I mean, I could say that, like, dudes have done sweet seeming things, but, you know, there's always a backstory.
Yeah.
it
There's
always
always a-
comes with a baggage.
Yeah, it's
definitely
always
does.
an
Like-
underlying agenda.
Niggas don't do shit just because, like, out the kindness of their heart. Like, they just don't. Like, I think if you want to talk about somebody I didn't really end up doing anything with, like, a nigga done sent me, like, some money to, like, go shopping, like, buy me lunch, or, like, this one dude sent me, like, a gift card to Fashion Nova, like, kind of thing. But,
You know?
I mean, it's you know, it wasn't nobody where I'm like, okay, like, I'm gonna keep using that person just because as a woman, you know what that comes with. Like, you could live the city girl lifestyle, but you're gonna have to really deal with them type of niggas too. And sometimes they be crazy. Like, so you gotta really watch, you know,
Right.
who you accept shit from if you're not, you know, have no intention of who?
I said
Cursing? What did I say? I'm sorry. Oh
no,
my
you're
God.
good.
Yeah.
It's like part of my vernacular. I'm so sorry, y'all.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but no, just to add on to that, like, using people, this is why I don't do it. It comes with work. You have to have enough energy to keep them coming back for more because you want to use them. You can't just be like, pay my rent and expect him not to want to call you,
Yup.
not to see you,
Yup.
not to
True.
want a little something. So you have to have that energy. And if you don't have the energy, you just are better off not using anybody and just doing it on your own. So
Yeah,
Who
if
got
you don't
time
want
for
to keep
that?
up with that.
to be picking up somebody's phone call you're not even interested in it just because they done gave you a couple $100 to what, get your hair done. Now you gotta sit on the phone with them and just when you could really just be cute in somebody else's face that you actually want.
Yeah.
Don't nobody got time for that.
Oh, you guys kept it real because a lot of people.
Because I feel like it's just so, like I said, it's social media that's making people think that that's just such a common thing that people want to put up with. But I don't think it is. Like, yeah, if you're a pretty girl, like, you could get a nigga to do some shit for you. But if you're a girl that has integrity, you're not going to want to do all the shit that it comes with. Like, you're not going to slut yourself out just for a couple purses, you know? So.
Okay. Integrity is all, it all comes down to integrity.
It's important.
Period.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, but that's good because, like you said, like on social media, they be saying, "Oh, it's one," but you know, it's not all black and white. Like, oh, all girls like this, all guys like that. Like, nah, there really is a balance between and stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now let's get into them green flags. Am I right?
Oh,
Yeah,
green
that's right.
You're like, okay, you on a date?
Like that jingle. Sorry.
You're good. So you on a date, you know, you're like, you know, they're right, and then you know, they say something, they do something, you're like, oh, okay, you know, that's what's up. All right, the attractive meter, you know what's going on. All right.
G baby.
I think I'm gonna start as really like as small as it gets for a green flag with a guy, and anybody who's going on a date who has experienced this or whatever the case may be, is opening the door for me. That's a green flag. Like, and this is before the date, before our conversation. Like, I get to, you know, you come get me, you get outside the car, you give me a hug, you smell nice, you know, when that's,
She said,
you know, you know, you smell good, you open the door for me, that's sweet. We get to the restaurant, you open the door. I mean, that's just to start off with. That's my number one green flag. I could say just be a gentleman. So...
yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, like, all the common courtesy kind of stuff to the side. Just in general, a guy that takes his time to really, like, plan out a good experience for you if you're going on your first date. I think that's super important because a lot of dudes these days are just be like, you trying to come through, you trying to smoke, you trying to chill, what you trying to do? They'll ask you what you want to do. It's like, dude, you're trying to spend time with me. I'm not planning and thinking through what do I want to do for me and take me somewhere. Like, no.
Guys, hold on. Guys, take notes.
Yeah, like, that's lame. Like, no girl wants to plan their own date.
Make the plan.
Very much that.
You'll take initiative.
Yeah.
What she said is true, but go on.
Yeah. So, like, that's, like, a huge green flag already because it shows me that you know, you're taking the effort, extra steps to, you know, make it a good experience where I could just sit back and just experience it. Rather than thinking like, oh, what are we gonna do? Like, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
What do you want to do?
Yeah, like, what do you like to do? Where you like to go? Like, huh?
I like you, but what do you like to do?
Yeah, it's like, and also, if you really took your time to have enough conversation before asking somebody out on a date, you're already gonna know kind of what they would like to do. So, like, you don't even have to ask, really. If you ask the right questions, then you can already have a little bit of a judgment of character, like, okay, like this, she might enjoy doing this. She might do like a sip and paint, or, oh, she don't drink, so let me take her to the beach, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, just active listening is a super green flag.
Giving her options.
Yeah, like just remembering the information that I gave you, even in just passing conversation, just texting or on the phone. Like, if I tell you a little detail and you remember it, like when we meet up or whatever, that's like a super green flag right there already.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Am I writing this? I'm not a guy. I mean, never mind.
I'll play it, bro. I'll play it with you.
Listen, so my green flag is someone that's already showed they're appreciative, like, of what I'm doing. Like, you know, take them out. They're already, like, showing appreciation. Because, you know, a lot of times, you know, they're like, oh, you should have took me somewhere, like, to a steakhouse, like, 100 times. I'm like, what? I just met you, you know? Someone that's already, like, not to say that you have to do this, but, like, you know, when a girl is like, hey, let me buy you a drink, I'm like, oh, really? Like, that's also pretty cool, too. But, I mean, not like I expect that because I'm the man, you know, I'm going to buy you, you know, I'm going to pay for the date. But, like, when you offer, it's like, oh.
So you want the girl to reach for the check first date?
No.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
definitely,
No,
I'm definitely,
okay.
I'm definitely doing that. No. Yeah, if a girl were to do that. Yeah,
you're just saying that you appreciate the reciprocated, just kind of like
reciprocated energy.
energy,
you know, energy,
just,
and like, you know, when we can talk about like meaningful things, you know, when we can get into deep things. I love
Yes.
that. Like,
Yes.
not just about just like
meaningful conversation.
basic. You know, my favorite color is blue. Okay, what else is cool about you? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I like deep talk. You know, like, and like you can understand my value. You can understand me. I know I keep repeating it, but character, integrity, and value. That's why I like. That's this green flag all the way. Well, that's
We getting older. Ain't no time to waste on. What's your favorite hobby? Like seriously, like where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, what's your 5-year plan? Like, honestly, like I don't have the patience for the whole like back and forth. Like I don't.
21 questions, like in high school.
Yeah. Irrelevant.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think that what you said about like the deep conversations is like super important, and I don't think a lot of people like want that or like know about that, because you can only meet somebody as deep as they know themselves, and like if they haven't gotten that deep, and I'm trying to get there, and I'm just like, you know, all right. But I feel like there's a balance, because like I want that deep conversation, but I also want that silly conversation. Like, can we just like just talk about nothing and send emojis, or like just do, you know, just like silly stuff together? I feel like that's really important. And you know, like same thing, just about being kind, stuff like that. Same values. Do you like chicken? You know.
You have high expectations. Do you like chicken?
I have another green flag. A man who could teach me something. I feel like I've been in situations where I'm telling, you know, a dude like, you know, well, you should do this, or you should do that, or oh, this means this, or I've been called a nerd, like, oh my god, I'm a nerd because I know this much, or whatever, or because I'm educated, or because I read, or whatever.
You already know those guys ain't that one.
You know, but reaching a point where, or coming to somebody where somebody could teach you something, you know, as a man, like, there's a lot of perspectives coming from a man that a woman might not know. And whether it's, when I say teaching you something, it doesn't really have to be, oh, what's two, you know, like, type stuff. But it could be like, okay, so, like, as a man, like, we feel this way, we feel that way. Because as women, like, I don't really know what y'all feel all the time.
Right.
You know, so to be able to coexist, or to be in a relationship, or have a relationship connection with a man, whether he's your lover, your brother, or whoever, but being able to be taught, well, I know, you know, women, they have their own, we have our own feelings. Every month we kind of feel this way and that way. You know, I tell people all the time, like, well, not people, but even my friends, I'll be like, okay, girl, it's the time of the month where I don't want to talk right now. Like, I'm feeling this way, that way. Like, people will know that, okay, this is how I feel, this is whatever. But if you could tell me how you feel coming from a man's perspective, or not even that, just teach me about stuff that you've done. Okay, how do I do this in my car? What is this noise in my car anyway? Do you know? You know, I don't want to be with a dude that we both have to go to the mechanic clueless.
Bro,
no, I want my man to know what's going on and put me on and be like, but I got this though. I'm going to do this. It's kind of like that. I don't want to be with somebody that's clueless, because I mean, sometimes I could be clueless in this world. Why add another clueless person?
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
That was fire.
No, that's facts. It's like, you don't need a nigga that work in construction or like build shit all day. You don't need no Bob the Builder ass nigga. But like, if I ask you to put up a frame, you should be able to do that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus Christ. Like, I just want a man that, like, in some of the traditional roles I'm okay with, right? And everybody's different, like, in as far as like what is, like, they want to keep traditional in their relationship and what they want to do more modern, like when it comes to like 50-50 or whatever. You know, those are all conversations that you're gonna have in your relationship. But to me personally, like, it's super important for a man to be like hands-on, and also to be like attentive as far as like, if he sees it's time for an oil change, he go Saturday morning, take my car, get the oil change. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff that I don't have to worry about. Like, he'll just pay attention to it and do it. Just how I would do for him.
What's wrong with the car?
yeah, who wants to be clueless?
Don't tell me I need an oil change. Go do it.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep, go do it.
That's where that initiative comes.
And humor, too, is a super
Oh
green
my
flag.
God,
Like, if
yes.
y'all can laugh about the same things,
Green flag.
that makes life so much easier and better. Like, if y'all both goofy and laugh at the same silly stuff, like, it's just, I don't know, like, that's better than having, like, intercourse to me at points. Because it's, like, that's a different, like, that's really you connect with somebody's soul.
Right.
And not just physically, like, their body.
Yeah. That creates a friendship in the relationship when you
Yes,
guys can laugh.
friendship.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's super important.
Yeah, because
We talked about earlier today.
yeah, because like we have some dark humor, and
Yeah,
like when you can get along, just like not just relationship, friendships too. Like it's like really connected,
Yeah,
key
for
and
sure.
stuff like that. But that's like
We talk about stuff I will never tell another soul on this planet.
Yeah.
I'll take you to the grave.
Yeah.
Crazy. What is one word of wisdom that you would tell the audience when it comes to regarding having a good circle? We were talking about friendship and networking. What is one good word of wisdom that you would give to the audience when it comes to finding the right group of people to surround yourself with? Just personal development. Like, what's one good
Dating
wisdom?
too.
And dating too. Yeah, when it comes to dating, finding the right person, what is one good word of wisdom you would give to the audience?
I got something if you want to think about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
To me, it's really like be authentic and be self-reflective. Like, be yourself all the way. Like, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, but take those weaknesses and don't always search for the fault in other people. Like, look for ways to, improve yourself and look for ways that you could grow, because a lot of the times in life, it's like you said, nobody's going to come save you. Like,
Right.
it comes to a certain point in life where nobody's really going to change who you are if it's not yourself. Like, there's no more parents in the picture. There's no more teachers in the picture. No, it's all up to you and how you could better yourself. So just take everything that people say to you, take it with a grain of salt, but just be your best authentic self and just really think about, how you treat people and be good to them, because, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. So don't think too highly of yourself. No matter how successful you get, no matter what kind of people you get around, just stay humble.
Stay humble and show love.
Right.
Yeah.
That was some crazy
Yeah, that was
fire.
beautiful. Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah,
I
You're
could
gonna have
take
to,
some
have to
pointers
voice
from that.
memo that.
Rest my word?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you.
I'm
We
gonna
can
need to
clip
keep
it.
that.
We can clip it.
Yeah.
Promo clip right here.
Oh, actually, that is a good promo
Yeah,
clip. Thank you.
I
Annie.
think that was
You're
amazing,
welcome.
and I think I can only add a little bit onto that, because that was just the answer to what we needed in life. But as
I have the answer to life. By the way, if you have any questions.
But I would stick with what I said earlier, guys. Only quality people. Like, I still
Yeah.
feel this way, whether it's relationships or friendships. Just make sure the person that you are with is a person of quality. And also just protect your energy. And this goes with friends too. You can get in a situation where you have a friend that is draining your energy as a person. And that could bring you down. That could knock you off your pivot, your goals, whatever. And especially somebody you're dating. If you're dating with somebody with low energy or just a sour energy, being around them long enough is going to take you down that road that they're on. So
Right.
protect your energy and just make sure you're around quality people and focus on yourself, and you'll be good.
Wow. Fire number 2.
Dang.
That's a
Encore.
word. Protect your energy.
That's all right. Yo, appreciate y'all coming on the
Hey.
podcast, man.
Lovely ladies. Great
Thank you.
Yes,
conversations.
this was fun. Thank
You
you
guys are
guys.
No, this is
Amazing.
awesome. This is needed. Like, I feel like a lot of black men don't have a lot of conversations about, self-improvement, just having one-on-one conversations with other men, even conversations with women. Like, I feel like a lot of the stuff that we run into would be avoided if we just talked more. So, props to you guys
Thank
for
you, man.
getting this
Thank
thing
you. We're just
started.
trying to be role
Appreciate it.
models and
Right.
Yeah,
Just
that's
keep
important.
Props to
Great.
you guys for finding 2 black, young, educated
Yeah.
women.
That's
that you can,
Okay,
in real
okay,
life, I'm
okay,
just
alright,
saying, you
okay.
could count some hood rats that could have just been crazy,
Okay.
But you guys,
Cussing at your mother and all that.
I think you guys are going down the right path.
Thank you.
Starting with
Yeah,
us, so
for
we
sure.
definitely
Thank
want to
you.
congratulate you, and we appreciate you, and what you guys are doing on this platform is amazing. And looking forward to more times, more topics, and
Yeah, for real. Have us back.
You know what? We'll think about it. We might have them
Yeah,
back.
we'll see.
Wait, hold on.
What?
Just before we finish, where can they find you? Social media platforms, where can they find you if they want to follow you? If you're comfortable with that.
No, that's actually fine right now. I don't have an Instagram just because I'm
Sorry.
doing everything else. But I do have an email.
Okay. That's the first one.
my God.
You might as well give them your MySpace and Facebook.
Oh
No,
my
but
God.
anybody who wants to just see what I'm doing, I do have a Snapchat. It's my name twice. I'll spell it out. Gaisha.Gaisha. So that's GAISHA. .GAISHAA, and that's on Snapchat, and I'll open back up my Twitter and Instagram later on, but right now I'm too busy, so
All right, thank you.
We'll put that on the description.
Yes, thank you. I'm out of
You
breath.
guys can probably find me on Instagram. Is the easiest place to find me. Annie Andulo, ANNIE ANDOULO, and I'm sure Nate was amazing editing skills. Will just add it right
Put
here.
it on there, right?
Put it on the screen. But yeah, just hit me up. And if you're fine and you're educated and black, hit me up.
And tall.
And tall, dark, and handsome.
But guys, that was another episode, and we're gonna keep winning in life.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Yes.
Peace.
Bye, guys.
Thank you guys. You guys were amazing. That was
that
a
was
great
awesome, guys.
conversation.
I definitely enjoyed it.
I did too.